absorbing energy within that drive leg and storing that energy. And then you can see that even the rear hip isn't really rotating on time. So this is like the biggest piece especially with throwing velocity. So 80% of velocity in general from a thrower standpoint comes from the ability to separate our lower body mechanics and our upper body mechanics, right? So you talk about like hip shoulder separation. So if we're late to rotate our hips, then we're not going to be able to increase our separation. So from the back is a really good viewpoint of this, because it showcases that the shoulders are just moving with the hips. So you can see that if we like circled the shoulder, the throwing shoulder and the rear hip capsule, you know, they're just kind of moving together and there's not really segmentation. And this is going to be the biggest piece that I'm going to conduct within the written report, because like I said, it's the most important when we're looking at the velocity aspect, right? So the ability to create that segmentation of the mechanics of the lower body rotation. So you can see with Dustin May, again, hips initiate their rotation early, boom, now it starts to go, trunk remains neutral, boom, now we anchor down right there. So you can see the amount of stretch, the amount of separation he's creating from the lower body and the upper body, right? So another good visual of this would be from this video. So you can see that the hips are not fully rotated, but definitely into rotation. You can see that back foot right here. See, that's like the heel is up, and then you can obviously see the shoulder, the throwing shoulder is, I guess you would call it like disassociation, right? So you can see the separation that he's creating. So then this is what I would call like a launch from stretch, right? So you anchor down and now you just release that rubber band, right? So you pull the rubber band as far as you can, you increase the amount of stretch and the rotational energy within that rubber band, and then you anchor it down with that front foot, and then you just release that rubber band's tension and it freaking goes. Hopefully that little analogy there made sense. But you can see again with Andrea here. So you can see that they're just kind of moving together. So I would say that it's more of a late hip rotation. His hips are late to rotate, and these are all kind of leading into byproducts of these breakdowns we're seeing here at the end of the delivery, which is pushing, I would say, like pushing the ball into release here, not really pulling the arm through. That's again a byproduct of the limited amount of separation. And you can also see here with the early launch component, this is something I look for in regards to shoulder extension. All right, so this throwing shoulder and the glove side shoulder are kind of in line, and the chest is behind that lead knee, and it kind of looks like more of a shot put. So just to give you kind of context on that, we can look at, again, a video of Dustin May from the slow-mo side of it. But right there, that's just a really good snapshot of how the trunk influences not only the amount of arm acceleration, right, like arm speed that you can have, but also we want to get closer to home plate, right? The closer we are, the more extension that we get, the better. It helps our command, helps our velocity, and so on and so forth, right? So again, to me, that's a byproduct of the ability to segment the lower body rotation, the upper body rotation. So you can see with May, again, anchoring down here, trunk remains neutral, hips into rotation. Now the hips complete their rotation, which then initiates the rotation of the trunk. The trunk then gets into full rotation, which pulls the arm through, increases the arm speed into the slot, and see how his trunk comes down into flexion and late launch and shoulder extension. Right. So I know I'm touching on so many different things. So let's just wrap a nice little bow around this and talk about where I believe the opening stages, if you will, we should focus on. So I think first things first, as I mentioned, the ability to segment and create authentic hip shoulder separation is everyone's kind of go-to in regards to velocity, right? We all want velocity. So in the report, you're going to see segmentation and separation progressions with an emphasis on fixing the late hip rotation issue that I alluded to earlier here. You can see that he's just the hip is the hip rotation mechanics are just late. You know, he's not getting those initiated on time. So, all right, dudes, thank you for watching that video. If you're interested in booking your own analysis, be sure to click that link. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways here in the upcoming months on my YouTube channel, but you need to be subscribed in order to be entered in those giveaways. All right, so you're going to click that link right there to subscribe, to provide some more context on the specific thing that we were just talking about. I included a video right down below. All right, guys, enjoy your day. God bless. Until next time.